So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Dr. Bart Rademacher, Prescription for Your Transformation, hashtag real people, hashtag real conversations. And once again, I'm delighted, with my interview that's coming up today. And if you're someone today that's kind of lacking in energy and you really want some more, you know what? Just listening to this really dynamic human being will really enhance your personal human experience. But what's really exciting about this, more than anything else, is that, we all have a story, and the challenge is that we don't always necessarily know how to best market that story, or really, quite frankly, how to get the results that we want to get in our life, because we just don't know how to do that. And who better than an actual journalist that can teach you the inside track to getting your message out. So I want to welcome Charnel Wright, CEO and founder of Wright Media. And she's that person that's going to teach entrepreneurs, sales teams, and marketing teams how to think like a news journalist and an effective way to use your story to sell your products and services. She's got a very extensive background. She's a media strategist, image consultant, and trainer, and really a 17-year veteran broadcast and news journalist on CNN, ABC, Fox, all the big boys. And so I want to welcome you today, Chanel. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Bart. I appreciate it tremendously with all my energy.
So you've been accused. So you've been accused of just being happy by breathing air. Wow, I think that's a beautiful compliment, even though someone may not have thought so. But I think that's a wonderful compliment for you.
Yes, it was someone who told me that years ago, and I thought, at first I was quite offended by it. However, that's not how they meant it. They truly meant it as almost, and they explained it to me as almost they admired that about me, and that I'm happy and not super let down or affected by situations that make it so that you're unhappy. And it was hard for this person to understand that and how that worked and how the heck are you happy? I'm just like, because I'm here doing this and I'm not in other situations where it was bad. I realize it. So you take advantage of it.
Yeah, life has a whole different meaning. When you're happy, and quite frankly, as a performance strategist myself with life coaching, it's interesting because at any given moment that in our wake moments, we experience some sort of emotion, and we actually see our entire life through the lens of that particular emotion. So guess what? If you have this ability to be happy all the time, what, your life is just so much better.
Yes. And people are like, how do you find that? How do you find that? And I think a lot of it obviously is when you're doing something that you're really into and you're really, really happy about. And I think that's why I do get happy, because especially at this point with what I'm doing now in the media, strategic media placement, where I get my clients media attention on the local level, on the national level, in TV, traditional media, and also new media. And the thing about it is I take my experience in the news business and turn that into this now. So what makes me happy about that is I was able to take something that was, for me, it was a career at the time. Actually, journalism, it's not a career, I call it a lifestyle. It's a very crazy lifestyle, which was great at the time, but not for me now. So I took that and turned it into something that I really loved, which was getting people media attention. And really it makes me happy, because you're like, you started this thing, it came out of nothing, you made it, created it, and then put it out there, and people are like, I want it. What is that? That's what makes you happy. So that's what being happy breathing air is all about, is because for me, in this instance, I was able to create something that people actually want and can use and helps them, because that's what I think life is also all about, is being able to give back in a way where you take your own experiences in life and you kind of turn them into something that you can do to give back to others. So that's what also makes me really happy right now. And it was just a few days ago, I posted a Facebook a video on Facebook explaining to folks how I no longer am in my 5,000 friends on Facebook. Your personal page, your profile page, you can't have any more friends than 5,000. I'm like, why can't you? Facebook, they limit you. But now I switched over to my public figure page, and I was very excited about that because that's just a new chapter in my social media life. So I very enthusiastically put together an actual video about that and about how I wanted everybody to join me on the journey. And sure enough, if you kind of position something in a way where you're moving and you're growing and you're happy about it and you'd like people to experience it with you, then you get a lot of people on board with you as well. I think that's a big part of, even when it comes to marketing yourself, even in the way that I teach people to market themselves, which is using your story to sell your products and services. So that was a way for me to share and say, listen, I'm in this great place where I'm growing and I'm able to help more people, especially if you move along with me to a public figure page. And you'd be surprised how many people jump on board because, number one, you're passionate about it. And number two, they're celebrating your success with you and happy to do it. So that's how you market too. I feel like that's part of my story.
I think that's brilliant in so many different levels. Number one, people love passion. Particularly if they get to see it in somebody else and it's kind of infectious. I mean, just listening to you right now, it's kind of infectious. I'm kind of almost jumping up in my chair, just listening to you, with all the things that happen in our lives and all the responsibilities, and forget about all the horrible things, but all the requirements of living a life in a sense, it's fun to be around people that really can elevate you. And very often we do gravitate towards people that actually do sort of elevate our mood. And so you obviously do that. I watched that video and I thought it was brilliant because in a very simplistic way, you're carrying across a message that was extremely effective. And I think that's why, you are doing really well with getting all these views so quickly. So a question for you, because obviously, we all have our stories. And what's key, I guess, in the marketing perspective, we're all salespeople in a sense. We're all marketing, but the best marketing is the authentic one. It's your own personal story. People like that. So how do you coach and how do you advise people when it comes to getting that story out? Because it's not an easy thing, and sometimes we're kind of bashful about what we want to share.
Exactly, and I thoroughly get that. The thing about, and I always say this to everyone because so many people are like, well, what do I have? What can I do with my business? I want my business to be on the Today Show. I want to get on there. What can I do? And they feel like they have to pull something out of the air or make something up. And you don't realize for every single one of us, our story is unique to us. No one has your story, Bart. No one has my story or anyone else's for that matter. So with that, you have some nuggets within your story that you can use to help sell yourself. I just help people pull those nuggets out by teaching them how to think like me and think like a news journalist. When you understand what the news uses to choose what stories they cover, what criteria they use, and what stories they cover. Because if you really think about it, and a lot of people don't really think about this, and it's really important to understand, news is a business like any other business. It is. They're in the business of making money, like all of us. And how do they do that? They use stories to do it. So why not apply that same thing, that same criteria that the news uses to make their money, because they make money through advertisers. The more people they have watching their station or reading their publication or listening to their show, the more advertisers are going to want to advertise with them. It makes sense, right? So they want to pull as many people in as possible. That's what all of us business owners want. So why not do the same things that they do and do it in a way, because how the news does it is I kind of broke the criteria down. It's not something that you go into school or even in the business and they tell you right away, okay, this is what we want. You learn it over the years, and that's what I did. So that's why I created this program. And there are three main things, is what I always like to say. There were a whole bunch of others, but just for time reasons, I'll break it down to three for this. One of them is I call it hearts. It's emotion. It's something that somehow grabs some type of emotion from somebody, whether it's happiness, sadness, even anger, and even fear. If you think about the news and what you're seeing in it, everyone thinks it's negative all the time, but that's not true. What the news does is tries to get some sort of emotion out from people so to compel them to want to sit and watch or read. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the criteria that I always tell and try to convey to my clients in saying, okay, with your story, and then I ask them a whole series of questions. And through those questions, I'm able to learn and pull out, okay, there's an emotional angle, there's a happy angle. It could be even sad, believe it or not, it could be sad, and that could actually work for an element that you can use to get the media to care about your products and services. So number one is hearts, what I call emotion. Number two is, I call this out of the ordinary, something that's different that other people would be surprised about. You know, it could be that they're surprised about it because you're the only one who does this within your whole field, or it could be surprising and out of the ordinary because it's something that people are taken aback by. Like, what? Wait, what did they just say? Something that's out of the ordinary about what you do or about your personal story. And that's the second. And the last is P. I call it, okay, in the newsroom, you call this person Joe Beercan. Joe Beercan is sitting on the couch, turning the stations, trying to figure out what he's going to watch. And then, boom, he stops. Where's my tax money going? Am I going to have a job tomorrow? What's the economy look like? They care about their pockets, their bottom line, their wallets. That's what people care about. If you have stories, that's why the economy is such a big story. That's why politics is such a big story, because you have people who are interested in their bottom line. So they're going to want to read that article or watch that newscast. So those are some of the criteria that the news uses to choose what stories they're going to cover. So now apply those same criteria, that same criteria, to your own business and to your own story. And that's how you're able to come up with these out-of-the-box ideas, not only out-of-the-box ideas, but also these ways that are amazingly, people just want to see what you're selling and buy what you're selling, because they become endeared to you because of the emotion that you bring, the out of the ordinary, the difference. Wow, that's what they do. And then also the pockets. They're going to help me save money, or they're going to help me make money. It's those three things that are really powerful when you're coming up with that messaging that really sticks when it comes to branding or even pitching to the media, because branding messages that when you get the media to care about what you're doing, those are the same messages that you can get to get normal people, potential customers, to care about what you're doing. So that's, yeah, I know I can go on forever, as you can tell.
No, I'm taking notes here because I want to get on the Today Show one of these days. No, but this is brilliant. This is brilliant because listening to you makes perfect sense. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, we have our emotions and it can just grab us. I mean, there's some intense emotions, whether it's fear or happiness or sadness, what really grabs you at the heart. And if we're really connected with ourselves, we can connect with those emotions. And then, of course, it has to be unusual. I mean, it can't be like the ordinary stuff because you saw it yesterday or you saw it the week before. So it's not captivating your interest. And then clearly, what's it going to cost me or what's it not going to cost me? That makes a lot of sense. So obviously you've got workshops or people can connect with you. I know we have to wrap it up, unfortunately, because of time constraints. I'm actually flying to the Bahamas to do some stem cell surgeries over there, which is really, really exciting. So that's another story I have to share with you.
But oh gosh, that's a story. Actually, I want to talk to you about that.
Right, definitely. But here's the thing: I really want people to find out more about you. So what's the best way that people can connect with you? How they can find out about you? Because clearly you have a brilliant message that can help so many people. And me being very passionate about wanting to help others. And it does start off with their story, and so many people are just totally stuck. So how do people find you?
At charnelwright.com. That's my name is CHARNEL Wright, WRIGHT.com. Very easy.
Awesome.
Charnelwright.com. Facebook. It's also Charnel Wright, my first and last name as well as on Twitter and on Instagram, everywhere. CharnelWright.com.
Well, I think you and I are we're gonna work together more often and get you back, as an interview and maybe share some more pearls. Would love to get more people, hooked into this, and we'll share some of the links on Facebook later on. But I really want to thank you. And any last tips or messages you want to share with the world?
I think when you're talking about being happy and staying happy, it sounds so cliche, but it's real. Just do something that you love, even if it's not for your work and it's specifically for what you do to make money every day. Still, just do it. Find it. If it's recreational, then do it and make sure you stick to it. That's how you remain happy breathing air.
And here's Charnel, living happiness. So thank you so much. And I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, prescription for your transformation, hashtag real people, hashtag real conversations, bringing to you new voices, new solutions, and your transformation. So thank you again. And I will be back tomorrow, broadcasting live from the Bahamas. So thank you.